Hi everybody, welcome to Filipino Time. Join us on a quick journey through the 50s and 60s with the Grand Seikos, King Seikos, and Laurels. Today we have Jay Labrador, a watch connoisseur who claims he's only been in the hobby for 5 years but has more than I don't know how many decades of watches in his collection. Jay, thank you for joining us today.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
So tell us, walk us through these wonderful pieces you have here.
Yeah, well, okay. What we've got here are a couple of Grand Seikos and some Laurels and some historical watches from the 70s.
Okay.
All of them Seikos. No?
Okay.
So maybe we start with the Grand Seiko,
Please.
Which is the top of the line for Seiko, right?
Yes.
So the first one we have here, this is the Grand Seiko 3180. This is the first Grand Seiko.
Okay.
So there are actually several variants of this, like some with a printed.
Oh yeah, with the way they put the logo.
Yeah, right. So printed logo, and then this is the raised logo, and then
Okay.
there's the carved logo.
Yes, yes.
This is the raised logo, which is the most common.
Okay.
The most common variant. This was actually just, a new release was made of these watches.
Okay.
Just I think last year.
Okay.
So, and then another one we have here. This is a Grand Seiko automatic, the 6246.
But I noticed that the dial, they've changed a little bit in terms of design.
Yeah, that's because this is actually derived from a Seikomatic,
Okay.
and it's just adjusted better.
Okay.
So if you look at the original Seikomatic, the case shape, and it's pretty much the same.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is the first Grand Seiko automatic.
All right.
All right, and then this is the 4420. This one, this is what epitomizes the Grand Seiko style.
Okay.
So they hired this guy Taro
Tanaka.
Tanaka, yeah, and then he came up with these rules. Then he called it the grammar of design.
Okay.
And this is, so if you see this compared to the other two,
Yeah.
it's very different, no?
Yes.
So the grammar of design, where the case is has very sharp edges and flat surfaces.
And I noticed no more date, no day or
Yeah, this one
complication.
doesn't have a date complication,
Okay.
no. But yeah, this is the first grammar of design, Grand
Can you see the
Seiko.
back of the case, Jay?
Yeah,
Oh, that's beautiful.
so that has the GS medallion.
Yeah.
Yeah, going back to this one also has the GS medallion, the automatic. But the earlier Grand Seiko has the lion medallion on
I
it.
see. Okay.
So the ones that say chronometer, they're the ones with the lion medallion.
Okay.
Okay, so if it doesn't say chronometer,
There shouldn't be a lion.
I think there was like a transition model.
Okay.
I can't remember which one, but there was a transition model where they mixed up the case backs.
Okay.
So they had to remove that chronometer designation
That's
because
right,
the Swiss were
Yes.
were angry about it because it wasn't, it didn't go through them or something like
Yeah.
that. So
But I think they made their own standard, right?
right, their standard was actually more stringent than the
Yes.
Swiss.
Yeah.
So they had so the COSC is like 5 positions, 5 temperatures. So what these guys did, let's make it 6 positions and 6 temperatures, and then if the plus or minus how many seconds, they made it -1 less and +1, or sorry, on the plus side they reduced it by 1. On the minus side, they also reduced it by 1.
It's tighter and tighter.
Yeah. So
To prove a point, right?
to prove a point, yeah. Well, they did enter these watches into the Swiss chronometer competitions. They did very, very poorly in the first 2 years
I see.
that they entered. But then I think it was in the third year, this was like a mid-60s,
Okay.
they started, ranking in the top 10.
I see.
And then I think they did that for 3 years or something. And then the Swiss said, well, only Swiss-made watches can be entered into the
They changed the rules.
competition. Yeah, so there you go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah. So these are all low beat watches now. Right?
Okay, yeah. I was going to
18
ask you about that. Yeah.
Yeah, these are all 1800.
Okay.
But here we have the high beat watches. So this one's a 4520. So it's hand wound.
Okay.
Again, no date complication. I read somewhere that the Japanese, they were not too keen on automatics because it's the very conservative culture. So they said, the people were thinking that if a watch is supposed to be high end, then it should be a manual watch.
I see.
So
they kept with that.
They did a manual of this, no?
Okay.
But then they also did an automatic.
Oh, okay.
So this is the 6145 automatic. So
Are they silver or white? The dials.
they're kind of silvery.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, these are 1800 and these are now the high beat.
High
no?
beat.
These are 36,000 rather.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is their first high beat automatic.
Okay.
And then here we have
The only one on a metal band.
yeah. I don't know if this is an original metal, if this is the original strap though. It might be a replacement strap. This one has an even higher accuracy rating than these.
Okay.
This is a Grand Seiko Special.
Okay. So grand na special pa.
Yeah. So that puts it at I don't know how much more accurate
Okay.
they made this.
Okay.
But there's actually one even at a higher level than this, which is the Grand Seiko VFA.
VFA.
Yeah, very fine adjustment.
Oh,
That's what it
okay.
means, VFA. But I don't have one of those.
Yes.
'Cause I don't know if I'll ever have one unless I win the lotto, because those go for like $500,000 pesos or something.
So
like
Jay,
that.
so far half of these watches that we've seen, where
Yeah.
have you sourced them?
Most of them, no. Yeah, most of them I sourced here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was able to get most of them here. The ones I got in Japan, half of them I sourced here. The other half from Japan.
Oh, so you go to Japan a lot?
I do. I mean, every year I'm there.
Okay.
But I got it from Yahoo Auctions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these three are from Yahoo Auctions.
So you're not gonna share with us where the secret place is in Japan to go for these things?
I can tell you where.
Okay, where
Um,
should one go if they were looking for these pieces in Japan?
Well, there's one store that's what's it called? The CTI Watch, I think it's called. It's off Ginza. I think it's like 2 blocks off the main Ginza road.
Okay.
Those guys, all their watches are like NOS. It's
Wow.
pristine.
Okay.
So you can.
So you could spend the whole day in there.
You could.
Okay.
I've only been there once, so
Okay.
I bought two watches from them.
Okay.
They said that a lot of Filipinos
Yeah.
do go to them, but most look for divers and
Yeah.
chronos.
Yes.
So, but they do have a lot of. They've got all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
So that's one place you can go if you're looking for really,
Pristine.
pristine pieces. Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that with us, Jay. And the next set?
At the next row, so
Yeah.
this is an assortment of all kinds of Seikos, no? I'll start on this end.
Please, yeah.
This is the the Marvel.
Okay.
Okay, the Marvel was the first Seiko that was completely designed in-house.
Okay.
So, if you...
May I?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
And then that was released on Time Memorial Day.
Okay.
I didn't even know there was such a holiday, but apparently there is. So
In Japan only, or is it?
I have no idea if it's an international thing.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah. So it says Seiko Marvel.
yeah.
Okay.
And then here we have this is the first Seiko automatic.
Okay.
So if you look here, it's got the power reserve there on top.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, like this one, the crown's recessed. This one also, you can't wind that.
Okay.
You have to wear it and
Okay.
shake it and move it around so that it winds.
Okay.
And they recess the crown to make a point that
But it's automatic.
that's automatic. Yeah.
I see.
That you don't need to do that.
Okay.
I find this so interesting, especially if you look at like Orient.
Okay. Yeah, with the power reserve.
Yeah, I mean, they must have gotten it from this, no? Because where they put the power reserve, it's the same.
Yeah.
And, Orient is
It's at
owned
the
by
top,
Seiko,
yeah.
so yeah, that's. I've read that I think the movement of this is supposed to be a Swiss movement.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I have no idea what movement that is.
So you haven't opened it up yet.
I've not opened it up. I've seen pictures of the movement. I just can't remember. There are some speculations about who made it, but I can't remember now.
So if
who
you
that
know
is.
if you know who it is, leave it in the comments.
All right, some other interesting pieces. This is a Laurel. I think this was issued in the late 1990s, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
So
a nice shape.
yeah, tonneau case.
Yeah. And the blue hands.
Blue hands. I think this is sterling silver
Oh, okay.
case, and then sub-seconds, and a power reserve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you got a power reserve there, and then you can check out the movement at the back.
Yeah.
So the movement of this is actually derivative of the King Seiko 52 movement.
Okay.
So that was in the 70s, mid 70s, I think. So the 52 movement that became the 4S movement. So if you're familiar with the Red Alpinist, what they call the Red
Yes,
Alpinist,
yes.
that's the movement inside the Red
Okay.
Alpinist. And then it's a variant of that is in this as well.
I see.
Yeah, so that's supposed to be one of the best movements Seiko ever made.
Okay.
So there you go. Interesting about this also, you look at the dial,
yeah.
no?
Yeah, there's lines, yeah.
That pattern there.
Yes, yes.
So it's very interesting.
Mesmerizing. I
Yeah. Oh. This one is a reissue of the first wristwatch made by Seiko.
think. Okay. And back then it was fashionable to have it smaller, right?
Yes, so I think this is a 33.
Okay.
This is the smallest watch I have.
Yes.
So the first watch they made was the Seiko Laurel.
Okay.
And I think this has an enamel dial.
Oh, okay.
You can see that it doesn't say Seiko anywhere
Yeah.
on the dial. No, it's just Laurel.
Yes.
The only difference between this and the original had a red 12.
I see.
But this one, for whatever reason, it's all black.
Okay.
But there are in the Presage line.
Yeah, they have the red.
They have the red 12
Yes.
in some of the more recent watches of the
Yes.
Presage line.
Yes, yes.
Right?
And the last piece is the King Seiko.
This is a King Seiko. Very nice also. This is a King Seiko with a chronometer designation.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so you can see again, there's a chronometer script there.
Yes.
I love the look of this watch. You know, if
Is it glass or is it acrylic or glass?
I can't remember. I think it's acrylic.
Okay.
If you look at the second hand on this, you look at it. It's got
There's a little
bulb. At the end.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Something interesting. Yeah.
little details.
Is
like
that the only watch you have with that? The others don't have it.
that the handle like that? Yeah, this is the only one.
Okay.
I'm not aware of any other
How interesting.
watch that's got. I mean, any other Seiko that's got that thing there. Yeah. But
Were the King Seikos also designed by Tanaka? Or just the
there are some King Seikos with the same grammar of design rules.
Yes.
In fact, well, you know that they were supposed to have two factories, right?
Right.
Daini and Suwa.
Yes.
So King Seikos were supposed to be done by Daini, and
Yes.
the Grand Seikos were supposed to be done by Suwa.
Yes.
But later on, they got all mixed up.
Yeah.
So Daini would make
Yes.
Grand Seikos as well. This is actually a Daini watch.
Okay.
This one, you can see the Daini symbol there.
That symbol is okay.
Yeah.
And eventually, they just decided to stop producing the King Seikos, right?
Yes,
And stick to the Grand Seikos.
Yep, in the early 70s, they stopped doing King Seikos. Yeah. So, well, the 70s also, the Grand Seiko kind of faded out and then got resurrected in, I believe it was 98.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which is the one you wear the most, if at all? That's a trick question.
It's hard. It's hard
Yeah.
to decide. If it's a formal situation, this is the one I wear the most.
Okay.
Yeah, the one for every day.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. This one though, I don't wear
Okay.
because the strap is so ratty already.
Okay.
And, this is the original strap, by the
okay.
way, and I can't find someone to.
These four pieces, Jay. Oh, sorry. These 5 pieces. Where
Yeah.
did you source these ones?
These are all Japan.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. This one was sourced here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but these
rest are
four
Japan.
are Japan.
Awesome. Any tips you want to give the viewers out there when they're shopping for vintage pieces in Japan?
I mean, you know, I guess do your research. I've made a lot of mistakes.
Okay.
I think when you're in this hobby, well, that's how you learn. No, you make mistakes. There's a lot of resources on the internet, and you can just check out where to look for watches.
So pick a piece, do your research.
Yeah. And in Japan, they're very patient with you when you check out a watch.
Okay.
You can spend like 20 minutes there just like, looking at the thing.
No horror stories to share.
No, none.
None. I think they're fairly honest and fair.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had a problem buying a watch in Japan.
Is there a rating or a score that they give for the condition of a vintage piece when you're looking at one?
When you on auctions, they do, especially Yahoo.
Yes.
They give you there are ratings there. But
What's your cutoff, Jay? What would you say? Oh, if it's this rating, I'm not even gonna bother.
it's difficult to say.
Okay.
I mean, you really have to look at the pictures, and I mean they might say that it's used and it's not.
So still caveat emptor.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and even then, you take a look at a picture, and there's one horror story. I did bid on one of these, the Laurel, on Yahoo, and what showed up here was a fake. It was a fake lang.
Oh.
It's obviously made in China, and,
Yeah.
But, so
did you go back and rate the seller? Or?
I can't do that because it's a third-party auction.
I see.
Yeah. So I mean, be careful. I mean, look at the the comments for the guy who's selling it.
So by the seller.
By the seller, yeah. That's the only time that I really got burned on an auction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing your watches, Jay, and thanks for sharing some of those tips and experiences and telling us where to go in Japan.
Yeah, sure.
So stay tuned for our next episode with Jay, and we'll catch you later.